These cadets have just come across an accident scene with two severely injured people.
One had fallen from a high-up chain link fence. The other was on the ground, and they got landed on, unfortunately, by the person who had fallen from the chain link fence.
Thanks to months of training, cadets from all over Vancouver Island know exactly what to do in this type of scenario.
One had a possible spinal injury, and the other had multiple, they just had problems breathing, and they eventually lost consciousness. So we had to do CPR on one of them. We had to do C-spine. We had to fix her leg because it was broken. We had to splint that and pad it in place and everything. And then the same thing with her arm. We also had to splint her arm, and we had to bandage it in place so it wouldn't move.
The idea here is we have the cadets run through various scenarios to test their first aid knowledge and skill level. Bleeding, splints, bandages, stuff like that. So anything that if they'd come across an accident scene, as an individual, or in this case as a team member, they could form those skills and use the knowledge they have learned.
But as intense as these scenarios are, these cadets never seem to lose their focus.
When I'm doing the scenarios, it's kind of like you're not in real time. You kind of just push everything out the way, and you're just thinking of what you have to do next, because there's a lot of stuff that you have to remember. But basically, you're just thinking of what's the most important thing, because there's a saying called life over limb. So you have to pick the more important things to do. You have your teammates and they work together, you talk, you really need to talk. It's one of the really important things. And it generally is a pretty intense experience, that's for sure.
I see that they're really, really focused. We're somewhat dressing up and kind of looking a little bit nasty. My leg looks a little bit worse. They're really into it. You can tell that they've been doing this for a little bit.
And practicing these skills are one thing, but these cadets plan on continuing their training to benefit their future.
We train a lot and every week, and it's like once you do it, if you do it so many times, it just sinks into your brain, and it's just like common sense.
Knowing how to do first aid on anybody, really, you could say, is quite an interesting thing to do, and I might, yes, use it in a job if I have one. I've considered multiple times Canadian Forces have some jobs where you can be a medic, and then there's other places where you could also use that job, even in civilian life.
For the first aid skills and the testing we do here, it's a huge life skill where they can take and do with anything. If it's a career they want in the armed forces, which is fantastic. If it's with BC Ambulance Service, fantastic. If it's local fire department, that's great too. So it's something that they can actually use from here on out. It is a free program, and that's the important thing about it, and we provide all the resources, the uniform, the training at free cost to the cadet and to their family. Cadets program is always looking for new members in the Port Alberni area and obviously throughout the province of British Columbia.
For more information regarding cadet programs, visit their website. In Port Alberni, for Shaw TV, I'm Jenny Fortin.